happy day today. Happy Sunday. Happy Saturday evening for some of you. There's nobody here but me. Low pressure entry then. It is still winter. This year, Thailand winter has gone on for more than a week. Whereas some of my friends from Canada say, this year we were lucky. Summer lasted for more than a weekend. Summer lasted a whole week this year. Thailand, it's kind of the other activist for you. First message. Good morning. How you doing today? How are you doing today? Oh, nice. 5 people. Cool. How are all 5 of you doing today? Let's see who else. Just activist for you. Her thumbs up and wave has the power of 5 people. Could be. Tony, I just finished coffee. Tony, what do you want? What are you doing for, I'm guessing it's not breakfast. How you doing today, Tony? 8 p.m. activist for you. Is it coffee o'clock? I forgot you're in North Carolina. Very cool. What do you guys want to do today? Clearly I put on a jacket, so I'm ready 1 a.m. Right on, Tony. So Tony, are you in the UK? Or somewhere around the UK? Ireland, possibly? Cool, right on. Tony, thank you for hanging out with me at 1 a.m. Oh my gosh. So what would you guys appreciate? Going for a walk? Going to a cafe? Wow, I know snow in North Carolina is not every year. Tony, no way! That's amazing. Tony, what are you looking forward to? Any question I could answer? Any last minute planning that you might want to work out or add? Or Tony, that's very cool news. Wow. So who are the other 3 people hanging out with us? Oh, 4. 4 people. Declare your allegiance. Oh, okay. Samut Prakan. Right on. Tony, very cool. I lived in Samut Prakan for 1 year. I lived actually in Bangkok for 1 year, and then I lived in Samut Prakan for 1 year. That was 14 years ago. Madukes! Hi, Madukes. Good morning. Hey, you changed your profile cartoon. Very cool. Is that far? Very far, Tony. Yep. I can show you exactly how far. Check this out. Here is Bangkok. Here is Samut Prakan. Here is where I live. It's about a 65-minute plane flight between the two. So here is where we were hanging out 6 days ago, when we were together on the live stream 6 days ago, right here. And I flew back home. I passed over Samut Prakan, probably somewhere in the air. Six people. I don't really know how to do a live stream for 6 people. Praise God. Benny, good morning. Sorry, Benny, I read your message before I said hello to you. I'm happy that all is restored. Okay. Let's try. Benny, let's try. Let me get the guitar. So I have not played guitar for at least 1 month, not even looked at the guitar for a month, let alone played. Let's see. Wow. Okay, good morning to Eva. Tony, holiday finished today. You could say today if you consider a weekend a holiday. Yeah, holiday finishes today. Yes, I've changed to a wrench. They gifted me a Chromebook. Madukes, that is amazing, actually. Benny, I'm gonna play my own version. Is that okay? Jesus, Jesus, holy and anointed one, Jesus, 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 risen and exalted one, Jesus. Your name is like honey on my lips, the Spirit like water to my soul. The word is a lamp unto my feet. Jesus, I love you. I love you. Let's try that again. Your name is like honey on my lips, your spirit like water to my soul. Your word is a lamp unto my feet. Jesus, I love you. Man, I gotta practice more. I love you. Jesus, Jesus, holy and anointed one, Jesus. Your name is like honey on my lips, Spirit like is a lamp unto my feet. Jesus, holy and anointed one, Jesus. There you go. Benny, reggae to the world. A message to the world. Your spirit is like water to my soul. So this morning, reading the Bible to wake up, one of my friends is having a very tough time, and I did not know at all what to say. Some of the things that he is struggling with are very close to me, and maybe things that I struggle with at the same time. I'm a few years older than him, but it doesn't feel like I'm more mature than him. And so I just did not know what to say. I don't know if he needed me to say anything or just to listen, but I didn't know what to say. Thankfully, when I opened the Bible, the very first verse that I saw, sometimes it happens like this, sometimes it does not happen like this, but today was very, very cool, even though it's a tough situation. I won't say sad, because it's not sad. It's just tough, it's hard, confusing. Life. Sometimes life is not so simple that you just say, oh, it's sad. No, it's confusing. I opened the Bible and 1 Timothy. Paul is encouraging Timothy to carry the light, to remember that even though life has dark times, we will have eternal life with God. And so, no matter what other good stuff, Dawn, morning, what other good stuff might happen in a day, the best of the best stuff is guaranteed. Sometimes that doesn't help. Sometimes, if they're just words, sometimes it doesn't help. But it did help cheer me up today, and with my cheer, then I could cheer him on. Can I? Info Warrior! Yes, dude! I just laid eyes on Lee, and very cool timing use. Dude, Info Warrior, very cool. Hi to you in Canada. Info Warrior, I have a cool story about Canada, or one person from Canada, from yesterday. Thank you for saying hi to Lee. She is wanting to remain silent, but she says hi back to you. A cool story from Canada by way of Thailand. Yesterday, I had plans to do one thing. Very appropriate, Info Warrior. Very. So what do you do, Madukes, when neither side of the conversation has cheer? What do you do? And I'm really asking you. And I'm going to share the story of Canada first. One representative of Canada living in Thailand. Yesterday, I had plans to hang out all day riding my bicycle with my best friend in Chiang Mai. Totally canceled. And I said, okay, you know what? I still have done everything required to go out and ride. So I'm still going to go out and ride, but I just won't do anything related. And I'm just going to see what happens. And so I went out, and a new friend who happened to be from Canada, he agreed on the spot to ride with me for 7 hours. So it wasn't going to be just a little fun ride. You know, you could understand if someone joins you for 90 minutes, and it would still be very cool, and I would be very thankful. But this guy, on a day when I was really disappointed, and the friend was even more disappointed than me, and I went out just willing to see what would happen, and I ended up being able to talk about some deep stuff with a new friend. He was from Canada, but he lives here in Chiang Mai now, as of recently. I didn't know this guy, but I knew he was a Christian. And we got to talk for hours and hours. And I totally did not expect it, totally did not see it coming. And I was able to be very restored and encouraged just being able to spend time with a new friend, someone who I really had not talked to. I've seen him many times. We've crossed paths many times, but I've never really talked to this guy. And it was such a gift. I'm sure he had fun too, but I think he does not know how much of a gift he was, because it was so unexpected. And he was so generous with his time in such an easy way. It wasn't like he made a bunch of choices to then be generous. It was just so easy. He decided in 1 second to come with me. It was very cool. And I didn't even know if he could stay with me for the whole time, but he did. So I appreciated his willingness to do way bigger and maybe harder of a ride than he was planning to that day. Anyways, it's just very nice to have a new friend, but also very nice to be almost surprised with how much you have in common with a new person. I hadn't had that situation in a while. Not that we as humans don't have most things in common with other humans, because we do, but just this guy and I had a ton of stuff in common. And I thought, there are so many people like this in the world. God made all of us very cool and amazing. And we could really find an endless amount of people to just be joyful and celebrate a new day of life with together, if we just put ourselves out there. And it can't work every day. You don't have the free time that you have on a Saturday morning every day of the week. Not even I have, I work for myself, and even I don't have that much time. So even for me, it was a gift. But I respect someone who has a day job. It's even more of a situation that doesn't come across in So, InfoWarrior, a representative of Canada, just made my day yesterday. A representative of Canada. He was the ambassador of... No. InfoWarrior, good to hear from you. I hope you're staying warm. I doubt there's any place in the whole country of Canada that is warm right now. Maybe some places are colder than others. Don, good morning, man. Don, where are you off to today? Big Thai community here in Toronto, just down the road. Many stores, even in Thai language. The signs, the Thai restaurants do well. Thai banks even have branches in Toronto. That's awesome. That's cool, Don. You did say that already. I mean, specifically. Madukes, whatever makes us sad? Madux, my thought for that is, are you correct with, oh, cool, thank you, Don. Are you correct with saying we need to know sadness to know happiness? I wonder if it's not the first time that I've thought of that. As a child, does a child learn happiness and sadness at the same time? When the child first learns the feeling of goodness, can they already compare it to the feeling of unsatisfaction? I think it's more the human is born into a world that is not perfect. There is sin and badness in the world. But inside us is the holiness of God. So it does not have to be the case that badness and goodness show each other to be what they are, or happiness and sadness are both necessary to appreciate one another. I think we just have both of those things. Daddy Cyan, I have not had the privilege to say hi to you in a minute. How's it going, man? I like your new thumbnail profile as well. I think I would remember this one. I remember your name, but I think you have a new profile photo. Is that true? Don Dobbs, rock on. Thank you. 11 people present and 11 thumbs up. Right on, man. Oh, okay. Sorry. Sorry about that. My bad. For sure, I remember your name. I did not. Wow, Umpty Scratch hitting us with the philosophy of philosophies. So we have both, yes. And I love Ecclesiastes, Benny. But I don't know if that answers the question. This would be like the second step. Ah, okay. So is sadness another word or another part of unsatisfaction or dissatisfaction? So the lack. So basically, love. Humans have a need to be loved, a need to live near love or feel some sort of love, some version of love, as we have in the earthly sense. We will never experience perfect love, but we can experience pretty good love. And humans have that as a need. So is the lack of that feeling basically, in this way, InfoWarrior, I think it could be correct. I think saying it in this way. But there's also the problem of language, right? So I think lack is a better word, because maybe sadness or happiness also involve a lot of personal opinion. But everyone knows what the feeling of lacking something, lacking satisfaction. It's just a very general feeling that we can all understand. So maybe that's a better word, yeah. So the emptiness is felt by the absence of the presence of or feeling of wholeness. And so by the past experience of at one point feeling satisfied and now feeling the dissatisfaction, the two can prove the existence of one another in our own experience. This is some philosophical discussion right here. InfoWarrior. I was just trying to think of a more silly concept, such as, does the presence of snow prove the existence of summer? Or does see, these things do not actually, they could exist separate from one another and never need to coexist or replace one another. Madukes, everyone experiences it in different ways. Some get love first, some get sadness first. Wow, Madukes, you mean like as a 1 day old infant? So I think the first part is not true, Madukes. I think that would be also impossible to decipher. But I think your second part is correct. It is about the hindsight. Because humans can really only have undefined hopes for the future, no matter how defined we think they are. Our hopes for the future are always pretty hazy, and our memories of the past have a lot to do with our opinions of what happened in the past. So it's pretty much just the present and what. Okay, Info Warrior, right on. There you go. So this idea of a general sense of dissatisfaction in life comes from previous times when we were dissatisfied with a situation, big or small. And then when those things are fixed, they're only fixed temporarily. And so we feel that satisfaction. And many times this feeling comes from a situation where there is love. And I think the more you open yourself to that feeling, the more and more you can experience different aspects of love in your life or in your future. And some people never really open themselves very much. So, Benny, did you say that? Or Don, did you just say that? Right on. Dude, you are full of some great words today. Info Warrior. As the twig bends, yeah, so as our hearts, or even the mental side that understands love, or tries to understand love, our hearts will expand, or the parts of us that feel love expand. But some people, it never expands very much. So another question would be, if we need the love or the satisfaction, because in my opinion, the human need for love is the ultimate need. And the most love that we feel will be the most satisfaction. So you could say love equals satisfaction, or lack of love equals the lack. Just in general, the things that we lack, that we feel the most, have to do with a lack of love or a lack of belonging. Or so then, the person who Madukes is talking about, don't lose it here, Joel. The person who is feeling the lack of love or the lack of satisfaction notices the hole being filled a little bit more clearly as they explore the fullness on both sides of what it feels to be more and more full of love. As the twig is bending more and more, the tree is growing more and more, your ability to feel love or notice love is expanding, is also your ability to be more and more sad or be more and more disappointed when you notice the bigger lack in situations where there is not love. And Benny said, it is greater to weep than it is to celebrate. The feeling of sorrow is more worthwhile than the feeling of happiness. Is your life then better because you can experience greater, I'm not going to say left and right or up and down, but greater expansion of the heart, or what the heart can feel, or the lack of love on the opposite side? Is your life better when you can experience more of both, knowing that the more love you can feel will also highlight, when you're in the time of lacking, will it also highlight how big the gap is? And in the end, would the gap be so big that the person would be crushed, swinging from end to end in the spectrum of love? I think I'm blessed to not have to swing so far in the spectrum because the love of Jesus is now in my life, which is basically like an anchor in the pure love only column, nothing lacking. And so I would only ever swing so far. I would actually never swing completely again from one side to the other because I have the love of Jesus as an anchor. And so does my friend, who you may or may not know. This is who we are talking about. My friend is also a follower of Jesus, so he would never be afraid to completely fall to the other end. Hi, Miss Biggs. Okay, Info Warrior though. Self-knowledge is the key to self-healing and self-growth and the ability to self-empower and overcome. I think you are mostly correct because I think a lot about the truth of personal freedom, but I think of it, Info Warrior, in the terms that God gave us this personal freedom. So humans did not create our own freedom. We do have freedom, but the ability to be completely free, which we do have, is a God-given ability just as part of creation. God made it this way from the beginning. So we have a few things that, in my opinion, humans who don't believe in God are purposely ignoring a few different facts about life. They might never come to grips with those facts, even though they are the most basic facts of life. So in my opinion, every person must acknowledge that God is real. I choose to believe in Jesus, but I can definitely understand how many people would not choose to believe in Jesus. But I think it's impossible that a human could not acknowledge that God is real. And this is one example. The rational analysis of something like love basically, to me, proves that there is a God who created us. The founding fathers described freedom as an unalienable right. Rational Kitty, I think the founding fathers were even more correct than they know. Yes, you are correct. You mean the founding fathers of the United States of America. But yes, I think they were more correct than even they know. Wow. Madukes. Wow. I do not at all imagine that I am a psychiatrist. I am not trying to analyze or give definitive treatment to anyone or anything. My purpose is to share the love of God and the experience that I have with the love of God. That is something very deep that you are sharing, and I appreciate your honesty very much. I do not know how to do anything except listen to what you are saying. Ah, John. I do not know this name, InfoWarrior. European Enlightenment Movement. And just to come back to what Benny said, Umpty Scratch. Oh, it's okay. John, don't tell me it's John Earps, InfoWarrior. John Locke. Oh, okay, there we go. Yeah, John Locke in the 1770s? Maybe 1760s? I'm trying to remember my own philosophy class. Oh, wow. That's amazing. Okay. So talk สวัสดีครับ ขอบคุณมากครับ คอร์เนสวัสดีตอนเช้านะครับ เป็นไงบ้าง กินลาบวันนี้หรือยังครับ กินลาบหรือยัง กินข้าวยัง กินลาบยัง ผมกินเมื่อวานนะครับกินลาบเมื่อวานเรียบร้อยwhat Benny was talking about with Ecclesiastes, another very powerful way of thinking from Ecclesiastes is there is nothing new under the sun. No idea that humans have is actually a new idea. We have existed for so long, all of the basic concepts of life have already been explored and felt by almost nearly every human in some level or another, maybe not very advanced. So in this situation, I just said, oh, 1700s, 1770? John Locke, 1400s. Therefore, the European Enlightenment movement was 300 years later just revisiting the ideas of John Locke, and the USA founding fathers, which has some idea that it was the first or the birth of something new. They were actually, who knows, the third or the 30th time that freedom as a basic concept of some kind of movement of humans was being used. ยังอยู่กรุงเทพยังครับกรุงเทพ ยังครับกรุงเทพ อ๋อฮาลาบเหนือกินยากครับคุณโจอยู่เชียงใหม่ใช่ไหมอยู่เชียงใหม่ครับกรุงเทพเป็นเมืองใหญ่มากแต่ที่ผมจำได้คือสุขุมวิทซอย55 56มีร้านลาบชื่อลาบ101อร่อยมากๆครับหวังว่าร้านนั้นยังอยู่ The rights of man was Locke's idea that set the stage, like Thomas Paine, for different foundational ideas. Wow, Madux, I really appreciate what you're saying because I agree with your willingness to say it, and I agree with your decision to share everything honestly. I support you. And then in this part, I guess I agree with the first half and I don't agree with your second half. I think human emotion is not the end, meaning it's not the most and best thing to just be pure emotion. Humans have a lot of emotion that is not healthy. And like you are talking about, past experiences might be things that should stay in the past. You should learn from them, and they are part of you, but it doesn't mean that you should push the emotions to the top of your priorities or feel the emotions out, like what you're saying. Feel the emotions to the end of wherever they take you. Because we are very powerful, we are very amazing, and we can be very dangerous to ourselves. Just because we have these emotions, it doesn't mean that we have to act on them or feel them all the way to the end, or sometimes you can exercise your freedom within yourself to say, no, I am going to be only positive right now. The negative stuff does not need to manifest itself. It's not healthy for me. I'm going to realize that right now I need to just change my way of thinking. I'm going to go and find a friend who is not related to this, a friend who is just positive and just being happy today, and only feel the positive. I remember one time in my life, I could not be positive for myself, and it was going to end badly. Was it my responsibility to just hold on and try to be strong enough to just be with myself? No, I think it was actually my responsibility to run away from myself and run to someone or something, God, relationship with God, to get me out of there, because I was in such a dangerous place in my own head that it was not going to end well. And thankfully, that's when God found me. I mean, God was always with us from the beginning. God is always with us, but that freedom that God gave us can sometimes be dangerous if we use it to only involve ourselves. And there's something about giving up freedom willingly for holiness, basically, that is so special. And even Jesus talks about this many times. Even in the Bible, it says, the one who lays down his life for his friends, the one who willingly suffers on behalf of another, that is the most loving thing that a human can do. What about if it's even to yourself? I don't know the different ways that that could take place, but that's not what Jesus is talking about. Jesus is talking about sacrificing your freedoms for another to show them love, even if it's small freedoms. Sacrificing your time to show someone else love. The thing about within oneself, maybe that's not a helpful thought. Or maybe that's just a nonsensical thought. There's no point in distancing yourself from yourself, creating two different beings. I guess you have the earthly self and the spiritual self. But you don't need to treat them as equal. Madukes, thank you for the message. No, eat at the... You guys both go and eat at the shop. Can you drive Mom there, or are you just gonna walk there? What were you thinking? Lee, what were you thinking to do? Okay. There are only 12 people hanging out. So we're talking about very, very difficult concepts, I guess.
Difficult.
Yeah.
Are you walking inside?
Okay. Let's go for a walk. You guys walk first.
And then
Or do you want me to actually walk with you?
no.
Okay. Because I said I was going to make another cup of coffee.
Okay.
I love that tool. Thank you. Lee bought me for Christmas. She bought me a new coffee toy. Professional. Check this out.
You can know it next time. Okay. Do we just eat and then you drive the car over?
Yeah. Don't order from me, please.
I mean, are you gonna drive car?
Yep.
But you will analyze, you know. You
Yep.
don't drive.
Yes. See you over there. 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. It'll probably take you 10 minutes to walk there anyways.
But just don't drive while you
Okay. Say hi.
Hi. Good morning. We are going to eat some breakfast, Chinese breakfast. Remember, this clothes you need.
I will. Activist for You LLC says hi. Rational Kitty. I didn't notice your name. Rational Kitty. I love your name. We have a new bag of coffee that I was saving for this morning. That's why I was excited. Coffee is heavenly. It is a gift. I was even saving this, prioritizing it over whatever breakfast they're going to go have. Good thing it's closed. It just dropped on the ground. And I got a new coffee toy, as you saw. Let's use it. Coffee. You open the bag. Light roast. Roasted on January 7. Nice. Anyone who has not said hi yet? Do you have any wishes, concerns, ideas, thoughts to share? Questions about life? Praises about life? Some of you I think of even as personal friends in this way. Some of you have shared things that are more personal and more honest, more impressive, and more beautiful than many of my friends that I call friends in real life. I want to be honest about one thing. I think you should try, if you have a friend who is only an online friend, I think you should try to make friends in real life also, because there are things that chat and online absolutely cannot fulfill. However, the deep conversations and the honesty and the inspirations are so real, sometimes with some of you even more real in certain ways than friends that we have in real life. So I really encourage you to do both. I am not saying that it's okay to only have friends online. It is not okay. Humans talking about fulfillment of love and satisfaction, that's not complete. However, we do have a really cool situation here. A really cool, really special, unique group of friends that we can share stuff. So, wow. Rational Kitty, thank you for saying that. For both things that you've just said. Thank you. Smell the coffee with me. Wow. Oh my. That's incredible, man. Apple cider. So the special thing about this one is this one you just turn it on and it clicks off when it reaches boiling. However, this one you can actually pick the degree. I wonder if this thing reaches 100 centigrade at all. So for light roast coffee, you should be going for about 97 centigrade, knowing that in the transition from here to here, it's probably going to lose 1 or 2 degrees. So, light roast coffee, you're going for 95 to 97 centigrade. You take your filter. Where is Mikey, by the way? Mikey, where are you, bro? One thing very cool about this, the gooseneck is much more controlled than my other one, so I can pour the water much more slowly if I want. And for this case, for a small cup, I do want. So 30 seconds, second infusion of water, another 50 grams of water. Make sure all of the coffee grounds are as evenly saturated as possible at the same time. Another 30 seconds. This one going for 60 grams of water. So I do the I guess, ratio of 50, 50, 60, 60, 60. What is that? The timing. The timing and water volume. 30-second intervals. Toast. So you guys at 8 p.m. over there, maybe you're not drinking coffee. Is anyone drinking tea? Wow, that smells really good. Haha. 299.8 just now. 9 p.m. lavender chamomile. That's so cool. Lavender lemon chamomile. Even one level up. K-cups have their place. I just use a K-cup and hope for the best. Yes. I love the part and hope for the best. I appreciate the time and place because with my grandma and grandpa, when he was here. I really thought it was cute that they loved their Keurig and K-Cups coffee. And so I really appreciate those for that and for the memories. And the coffee was not bad, especially since it is what it is, or was what it was. But I'm going to tell you, this coffee is a little bit better than K-Cups. Just to encourage you, Benny, maybe someday you might have both. Ho, 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 ho. Oops, I missed it. I'm sorry. It might be better, but if I ain't ever had it, that is exactly in keeping with the philosophy that we have been discussing today. Is the existence of high quality coffee necessitating that you have to experience high quality coffee? No. The existence of caviar in the world does not mean that I have to have caviar ever, even one time, never. Does the experience of delicious coffee, here you go, the experience of ever having had delicious coffee also highlight the sadness, the lack of gourmet coffee in the world? Does the experience of a horrible cup of coffee, not talking about K-Cups, just does the experience of having a hideous version of coffee make you appreciate the delicious coffee in a way that someone who's never had bad coffee could never experience, could never appreciate? I don't know. But I'll enjoy this cup right here. Wow. That is a perfect example, Madux. That is a perfect example of how sometimes in pop music, there can really be deep lyrics stuck in with the pop lyrics. The easy lyrics that they almost write without thinking, or the purpose is that they are written so that you don't have to think very much. You can just enjoy the easy listening music. But then there's a line like that. It sounds thoughtless and it sounds like a small concept. But if you purposely think of this in terms of eternal love on the side of humans, not on the side of God, God has the ability to love every single human, and he does love every single human massively. On the human side of love, if Jesus wrote a song and someone changed the lyrics a little bit, I think that lyric would not be so far off in terms of love your neighbor as you love yourself. So you could say, well, some of the neighbors are far away. So the neighbors that are close at hand, today, we should love them. Even if in the future there is other love, or love that we might say is greater love, but only God has maximum love, greatest love, and it's all the time for everyone. Only God has that love. So the best love that humans can feel might be with a spouse, or with children, or with your family if you have a great family relationship. That's pretty much the maximum human love. So if you can't have that love, what about a love that's more close at hand, more reasonable today? Yes, I think that could be great advice, even from a pop song. I think it could be great. And sometimes you find yourself talking about deep pop songs, and then you see online an article. The person who actually wrote the song was not even talking about anything that you're talking about. No. Activist for you, Noah. Hi to Noah. Please pass along Noah. One of my favorite people in the world is also named Noah. Activist for you. He's my cousin. Oh. Lee, are you watching the live stream right now? I know where they are because I found them when I was looking for my glasses. Activist for you. My cousin Noah is 27. Very cool. God told us what love is. Benny, I'm sorry to say I do not have that one memorized. How about you share it with us? Is that the verse? The one who lays down their life for their friends. Greater love hath no example than this. No example more than this. Thank you guys for letting me have another cup of coffee with you. It's so weird when the bright notes are more in the smell or only in the smell. Actually, there's no fruitiness or brightness in the taste. Doesn't mean it's bad, but when I smelled it, it was like, wow, what sweet smell. I was expecting some kind of surprise like you guys were talking about blueberries. No fruit jumps out at me at all. There's very low acidity, but no sweetness. It's just somehow herbal, like lemongrass, but without the brightness. Or like black pepper, but no lingering heat. It really tastes like black tea, actually, more than coffee. It tastes like a incredibly strong black tea, but no bitterness. If you were gonna make like 3 tea bags in 1 cup, part of the flavor would be quite bitter, unless you're using very high quality tea. Man, coffee is incredible. It's just a bean, right? You just pour hot water on it, and it has insane flavor potential. Can I ask you guys who might purchase quality coffee, not the daily drinker, like the one you drink before you go to work, unless you make a pour over every day before you go to work. I don't. For me, coffee is really a treat. So, I mean, I don't make very much money, but coffee is a significant percentage of my annual budget. 1,300, 3,000. Yeah, coffee is about 3 or 4%. I mean, that's quite a high number, but that can also show you I don't really make so much money. But yeah, coffee is about 3 or 4% of my. Is that fair? Should I admit that? of my personal GDP. Yeah, I spend about $300 US on coffee per year. Do you guys have any idea what you spend on coffee or on your favorite drink? On your favorite non-essential daily food item or snack or treat. Because coffee, I mean, I drink coffee. I would still drink coffee in the morning, even if it's not high quality coffee. But I just really look forward to high quality coffee now. So for me, it's a treat and a habit. Yes, dude, Andrew. Oh man. My inner core temperature just went up a few degrees. What? Yeah. And Alexander, hey dude. Oh man. Andrew, no way. We are on the same time. Wow. Andrew, I still have never been to Pattaya. But how is it, man? I bet the weather is fabulous. I bet the weather is fantastic. Andrew, what are you doing today, man? Christine! Woohoo! Good morning. Christine, big coffee cheers to you. Getting very intimate with this cup of coffee right here. Our toast! Oh! I have no money or income, so I spend nothing. Andrew, great thing to do today. Benny, I'm not saying this to be dumb. I'm saying this because I'm honest. Just, you are living the good life. Living as far away from money as we can would be a lot less stress, would be a lot, it doesn't mean a life completely free from worries, but Benny, I'm saying this with all my heart. That's awesome. It would be so good for so many people to not live with money, That's, if there's one thing that pretty much all humans understand, it's stress regarding money. No matter when, where, who, what 1,000-year time period, that's pretty much. Plain pumpernickel toast. One month in my life, I stayed in a tent for almost the whole month. I think I made it 4 weeks. So the last 3 days I had to give up because I hurt myself. And I actually had to get a little surgery on my hand because I cut myself very badly. Lee was asking me something that happened, and I thought of this story. So just a few days ago, I was thinking of this time in my life. And I remembered the number. It was 62. Now I can't remember, 62 or $63 US dollars that I spent for the entire month. But I felt very free. I walked for hours just to get to different places. Someone let me borrow a bicycle, and it was a, I was about to say cool experience. At the time, it was not comfortable. It was just necessity. I used the bicycle to cut down those hours of walking to just 1 hour of travel. So I went into town. I bought a bunch of cans of beans, actually. Brown, red, mixed, and green beans. I had a knife. I used it for a can opener. I cut myself a few times trying to use a knife to open cans. But the worst one was when I was finding food in the back of restaurants, getting it out of the bags. And one time I was trying to cut something that was frozen, and I really cut myself badly. But that time in my life was the most free that I've ever been. And it was that 1 month, even though it was very, very dirty. Multiple friends complained about how badly I smelled, because I would hang out with a few people. I would walk from my tent to hang out with a few people. But truthfully, it was very free. But I still used $62 that month, which is very, very far from zero. And there are for sure people who have a home who live on less than $62 a day. In the modern world, it's less and less people who live on that low income, but there are for sure people living in Asia, where I live, or Africa, who never will make much more than $60 per month, and they have jobs. So some economies are just that bare bones. So in comparing those two things, I was still not even close to being living on zero money or free from money. And one other time in my life, for 1 month, I did volunteer for 1 to 2 hours per day in exchange for food, to try and, just for a personal experiment, to see if I could not touch money. So I was working in direct exchange for food. So I guess that's not volunteering, is it? That's just, yeah, that's not volunteering at all. What did I just say? I was teaching for free, but it wasn't for free. It was in exchange for food. But even that month, I remember I spent more than $62 just on other stuff, non-food stuff. Thank you, Madukes. Alex, have a great day. Seabreeze, have a great day. I'm going to go walk and find Lee. Well, I'm not going to walk. I already agreed. I'll drive the car and take them to church. And I myself will go to church as well. Andrew, how long have you been in Pattaya? Nepal, Laos, correct. Yes, these are two places that have at one time been called the poorest countries in the whole world. The amazing thing, though, is if you visit those places, I've been to Laos many times, I've never been to Nepal. If you visit Laos, you might come away saying that it was the best experience that you've ever had, because Lao people are so calm, peaceful, or feel so peaceful. I mean, obviously they have a lot of problems in the country, if it's called the poorest country in the world, but the people are so generous. Seabreeze, you are perfectly on time. Brown toast. Andrew, Bangkok, Ayutthaya, nice. Deneen, I was so happy to see your name in the comments a few days ago. Very cool. Thank you for jumping onto the new channel. We will do live streams here more and more. I was going to say only live streams here because last week we did a live stream on the original channel and it was so good. So I realize some people are just being stubborn. Some people only want the old channel. They don't want to make one extra step to come hang out with us on the new channel. So that's okay. We will get them one by one. Activist for you. God loves both Deneens and every Deneen. Umpty, Scratch, and Christine. That is a perfect example of why the word happy is not a very clear word. So the very first conversation of this live stream today was talking about happiness and sadness. And one of you guys said that they are like yin and yang, two opposing sides that require one another in order to more clearly define themselves. And I said, is that so true? How about a different word? Because happy and sad involve a lot of opinion, or a lot of other people's opinion of what happy and sad are, or happy and sad exist as parts of many other emotions. And then Info Warrior said, how about lack and fulfillment, or fulfillment and lack of satisfaction? I said, that seems more of a good thing to talk about because it's a little bit more clear, more well understood. Happy and sad is not very well understood because some newspaper articles might say Denmark is the happiest country in the world because it is the most economically satisfactory. So that's clearly aligning equality and money to happiness. When 3 people right now, have just said, in countries that are said to be poor, actually those people seemed the most happy. I would not agree with that, because if you really sit down to talk to those people, you will see they have tons of small problems. It's just they are very good at handling those, obviously from a lot of training. But also maybe those cultures are much more rational in terms of dealing with real life, real daily situations. And you would laugh because you might think that a country like Denmark is the most rational, they're the most logical, they're the best educated, and so rationality should be top of the list. But actually, ignorance also comes with living in a very well-off country, because you are very distant from what the problems of poverty entail, I guess. Now that is a very, very deep conversation involving many different people. Have a great day, everyone. I do not have the whole day to talk today. I'm already now 5 minutes late, so it was just very cool to have Andrew and Alexander and Christine and Deneen one after another say hi. So see you next week. Maybe even see you midweek on the other channel. Thank you, Activist For You. Lots of love. Happy Sunday. Happy Saturday night. Happy Sunday. Thank you, Seabreeze. I'm driving there having noodles right now. I'm having my toast and coffee. See you soon. Thank you, Andrew. Andrew, later, man. Thank you for all of you who really listened. We talked about stuff that was not very exciting today, but it was very powerful, I think. And thank you for always letting me have time to reflect on what we talk about, on what's happening, what powerful things someone might have shared, what's happening in ourselves emotionally. And I hope the 13 of you who are still here have some food for thought today and tomorrow and this week. I really hope you know I continue to use my time and use our time in a hopeful way, that the live streams are not just to get together and hang out and say, hi person, but I hope you know that I support you to be yourself and to share your love and shine your light that comes from God with those around you. That's the meaning of why we are here, to grow ourselves and also share light with one another. So if we share light with each other, that's awesome, because it just builds our energy and our joy to then go out and do it with others. But if you only come here to hang out, that's awesome. You are very welcome. But I hope you know my purpose is not only to just have you hanging out, but I want to invite you to be positive and to be more hopeful with your life, and to take your experiences and opportunities and put positive energy into them and make them more and more and share with others. Okay, later. See you sometime soon. Dear Lord, we are so blessed to have this time together. Wherever we are in this world, I know that you are with each of us, and you are constantly with each of us, even when we sleep, even when we walk around not thinking about you. You are still here very much with us. Thank you for how you love us and how you understand us, which is sometimes crazy to think about. How could you, God, understand us, tiny humans? There are so many of us. We're all confused, running around with our own opinions, and you still patiently wait for us to give you glory and to come back and just look for these moments with you. So thank you. I got to have 90 minutes hanging out here, chatting with some of my friends and being grateful for today. God, thank you for this day, for this time together. Bless our thoughts. And take care of my friend who is traveling right now into real danger. Even bless his thoughts. Bless those who are on the trip with him. Let them know even double or triple how you are so present with them right now. God, thank you for our families and our friends who support us. They are all blessings in our lives. Maybe today we can actively tell them how much we appreciate them. I don't know. God, we love you and we pray in your name, Jesus. Amen.